So, hi, hello, and welcome back again. I went to the art store again, and the last time I did that, you saw me draw with this pencil, which is very color fitting to me today, actually. It's a multicolored pencil, and it mainly had reds and yellows. If you want to see that video, you can click somewhere up here. And see my reaction to it. And I thought, why not do it again? I promised it in the last video that once I go to the art store again, I'm gonna pick up new ones. The art store is sadly very far away from me, but I went there again. And I got these two. And I'm really excited to use them because they look like they have a lot of different colors. And many more than the other one. So we're gonna use these two. We're actually gonna use this one this time, and we're gonna keep this one for next time because I think this one is really interesting. It has a lot of neon colors, which actually surprised me a lot when I swatched it because I had to try them out already. I did not draw anything with it, but I tried to look how they look like in my sketchbook, and this one is really neon colored and also has these sparkles all over it. So I really like it, and I always save the best one for last. So you're gonna see this in the next video about this, but this time we're gonna try this one. It's blue, it has yellow in it, and I think a purple reddish tone in it. So I think this one is also gonna be interesting because it's gonna create some greens with the blue and the yellow, hopefully. So let's try this one out and try to fill a whole sketchbook with it. Try to fill a whole sketchbook page with it. Not a whole sketchbook. And yeah, let's just see what it does. Hopefully this one won't disappoint. So yeah, let's see. And let's see each other on the table.
And as you can see exactly nothing. I realized pretty quickly that you can't really see me sketching because if you've seen my other videos, I already talked about it, but I really want to use only this one pencil. So I tried to sketch with it, but obviously didn't really push really hard and tried to make it as soft as possible. So, you know, the sketch wouldn't be too visible later, but it's still visible to me, so I know what I'm doing, especially since I really wanted to do some post studies here. I see a lot of people on Instagram when they use these colored pencils, they do really aesthetic, like these Greek sculpture studies, and they look really cool, and I don't know, something about the vibe together with multicolored pencil, I just really liked it, so I wanted to try that. But I did sketch everything off screen. You can see me started recording again with the portraits because I was sketching the portraits, and honestly I had so much fun doing these because I don't know, if you look at these two references next to each other, they have very different face shapes, and I really like that about that. So I really wanted to study these two, and at first I didn't want to put portraits down, but when I was sketching the first one, I was in love with this pencil. I thought this looks so cool as a portrait sketching pencil because it gives the portrait some kind of like extra other than like just sketching it with pencil. I had so much fun. Like, I can't even explain it because I do a lot of portrait studies, but with this pencil and just figuring out, like turning the pencil a little bit, seeing what kind of colors I can put where, because you still have a little bit of control over what you're doing. You can see me, like I think in the speed up, you can still see me sometimes look at the tip of the pencil to see what I'm applying. So I try to put the yellows in the shadows, which might sound like a little like it doesn't fit, but I want to put the light tones in the shadow areas because I feel like it makes them pop, and also like it's not darker than the line art. So with the first portrait especially, I tried to use the yellow in the shadow areas. And actually, when you see me drawing digitally, which I haven't done in a while, well, I have, but you haven't seen me draw digital in quite a while, I also use quite light colors in the shadows because I don't know, I feel like it makes it pop. It like maybe isn't the first thing I would think about, but at some point I started doing it and I fell in love with it. But yeah, I'm trading off actually. I tried to use the variety of the colors to my benefit kind of, and you can see especially with this one, I think in the eyes I tried to use the blues in the corner, like in the inner corner of the eyes, to give like this kind of like sleepy look, and also like on the top of the eyebrow bone I tried to use the like more yellowy tone for like a little bit of light that falls there. I really tried to use the colors as much as possible for this one, and like I said, this was so much fun. It was so much more fun than the other one, because if you haven't seen that one, go watch that one. But yeah, there weren't enough colors for me to play around really, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna use this one so much more for those portrait studies. I really like the one on the top. It was so much fun. I don't know. That's why I also started recording. I wanted to sketch everything out at first and then start with the angel sketch on the left and like just walk my way through, but I noticed myself like get really into this portrait sketch, so I was like, okay, no, this is fun, and before I do the whole page without recording, I'm just gonna start recording again. So like that little jump happened like that. But yeah, I am not really a fan of the like the anatomy studies I did here, or like those studies of the sculptures. I don't know. It didn't turn out the way I wanted to, and I also didn't do anatomy studies in quite a while, which I felt before this sketch, I felt like I improved a little bit in anatomy because I'm working on like comic drawings right now, and I do have to draw a lot of poses, but yeah, I feel like with this page I felt like, okay, I should do more specific anatomy studies again, especially of female bodies again, because I've been drawing a lot of men recently again. So that's definitely on my list for the next sketchbook now. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of that. I wish I would have drawn something different. I don't know if I would have been happy with even more like portrait studies, because then I feel like that's what I always do, and then this page just looks like any other page. But yeah, I don't know if I like it, I don't know if I hate it, but I definitely like the portraits in the middle. But I also don't know if more portraits would have made this page look too boring for me to then not like it again. So as you can tell, I'm very indecisive, but what I can decide on is that I really like this pencil. I'm gonna say it over and over again. But yeah, with this one you see me right now doing the eagle is missing, the eagle that was in the reference, so the pose doesn't really make much sense, but I thought I really want to draw like a dynamic scene, and this is the first thing I saw, and I was like, okay, let me try that. So yeah, that's the story about that. I just wanted to like practice a little bit, and I was so hopeful that this would look really cool, but yeah, in the end I could have done better. But I think that's a theme that I will always feel with my drawings. I could have done better, because honestly, I feel like that's something I really need to remind myself of all the time, and maybe it helps someone else that's listening to this right now. I think while you're drawing, you learn so much that you are too aware sometimes of what you could have done better, but in the moment you were drawing it, you didn't know about that. What I mean is you learn something new, and if you see a mistake, that's good. That means you can apply it for the next drawing and you know now what you did wrong. And if you wouldn't have done that drawing, you would have never known that you shouldn't do that or that you should do something different. So it's a learning process. And actually, if you see a mistake in your drawing, that's good, because you can tell yourself, I'm gonna do this better next time. And I learned something from this whole process and I took something out of it. That's why sketching is so important, and just doing whatever, because that way you can figure it out. And don't beat yourself up if you don't like your sketch, because you learned something from that. And if you wouldn't have done it, like I said, you wouldn't have learned from it. So yeah, just a little pep talk here. Also a little directed towards myself, because I also sometimes keep forgetting that, and then I beat myself up that it doesn't look the way I want. But like, you know, we learned something. But yeah, I wanted to wrap this page up with like a little, just some, not grapes, you know what I mean, like some fruits that are just there on like a little stem, just something floral, without having like another just sketch of a flower, because I do that a lot. So I thought like, okay, let's do something different for once. But yeah, that's basically the whole page, and I think it turned out really well. I'm excited to try out the next pencil, because like I said, it has a lot of neon colors, so I'm very, very curious how this will turn out. I was thinking about actually for this page to add like a black background to just make the colors pop a little more, but then I was scared. This keeps happening with me. I was too scared to like dare, and I also didn't know how well this paper would take like black ink or something, and I didn't want to ruin the other spreads that I did on the other pages, because I really liked them. So yeah, that was definitely something I wanted to do, and I think with this pen, like a black background would look really good. So I'm definitely gonna do it next time I'm using it, maybe in a new sketchbook. So yeah, I can practice there and see what kind of black pen my paper holds. But yeah, that's something for the next one. And that's basically the whole page. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I could inspire you to also pick up a new like medium or like a multicolored pencil and do your own thing with it. And I will see you in the next one. We're gonna try out the other pencil soon. So see you then, and take care of yourself, and bye bye.